We have some breaking news coming out of the LEC today. Obviously, Mad Lions Koi has been eliminated from Worlds, so it is now officially the offseason for them. It is time for them to start thinking about next year, start thinking about what their different options and what their different plan is going to be. So hopefully they can have a more successful 2025 and also continue to expand off of a lot of the cool things, a lot of the exciting things they did in 2024. Obviously, Mad Lions were not necessarily expected to be a top team this season, but they did make it to Worlds. So in some ways, this year should definitely be seen as a big success. But the news we have today, breaking news this morning coming from Alejandro Gomis. This is about their mid lane situation. This is breaking news about Fresskowy. Reportedly by Sheep Esports, he has been allowed to explore his options for the 2025 season, as long also in hand with one of Mad Lions' assistant coaches has also been, or Mad Lions' assistant coach has been allowed to explore his options for 2025 as well. So Mad Lions, at least considering making some changes at this point. What Alejandro did tell me is that obviously Mad Lions just got eliminated from Worlds. They had to travel. They had to, things were still settling in. So they are still very, very early in their offseason. So there's not a ton of details in this story about potential replacements or ways that they're considering going and stuff like that, and exactly what the future has in store for Fresskowy and Mad Lions Koi. But again, they are allowing Fresskowy to explore his options for next year. We do actually have obviously like the tweet and the article and everything from Alejandro, so we'll get into all this, see if there's any more details here, and then maybe talk about some potential replacements, potential ideas. Again, a little bit more speculative part, discussion oriented part of this video. I did actually get my shipment of Holy in, so that is some very, very exciting stuff. I'm already drinking some Holy this morning. Make sure you guys go check out that first link in the description below. Use discount code SE5 to get some Holy for yourselves. We would appreciate it a ton. Great tasting energy drinks that just so happen to be healthier than the competition as well. With that being said, let's get right into this. So here's what Alejandro has to say. Obviously, Mad Lions Koi have allowed mid laner Fresskowy and assistant coach Zeph to explore their options. This is a very, very big banger because obviously Mad Lions, they went with this 4-rookie lineup this year, 4 rookies and Elyoya, really building around their star jungler, their star player, obviously. And like I said, Mad Lions Koi kind of surprised some people this year. They ended up making it to World. That is a very, very big deal. They started out the year a little bit strong and then kind of teetered off as the year went on. Obviously, there's a ton of memes and stuff about Mad Lions win rate in the second half of the year and how they were still able to qualify for Worlds and all that stuff. But again, either way, whatever you want to say, they made some big strides this year. Especially guys like Supa at certain points were very impressive. Merwin had some highlights. Alvaro had some highlights as well. Obviously, Elyoya is Elyoya, but Fresskowy was always definitely had some moments as well, but he was more so the question mark of all these different players. I know Mad Lions obviously has a long-term project in mind with all these different players, but at least considering a new mid laner is pretty spicy and is pretty definitely a pretty big deal. Significant changes may be underway at Mad Lions Koi after their elimination from the 2024 World Championship. According to Sheep Esports, Fresskowy and assistant coach Zeph will be permitted to explore other options ahead of the 2025 season. The Polish mid laner was part of a promising rookie quartet making their debut in Tier 1 competition. Merwin, Supa, Alvaro, obviously, and Fresskowy here. Despite a standout year for the team overall, Fresskowy has been permitted to explore options in the offseason. Paired with Elyoya, Fresskowy delivered solid results during his first split in the LEC. MDK hit the ground running and defied all expectations by reaching the winter split finals, with the team slowed down in the following splits, placing 7th and 6th in spring and summer. Their qualification for the season finals was largely thanks to points accumulated from their winter split run, and they limped into Worlds after a surprise win over G2 in the upper bracket of the end of season tournament. Worlds was definitely difficult for Fresskowy. Obviously, we all have been watching Worlds. We got to see that firsthand. We got to see, that in a big, big way. A ton of viewership on Worlds and stuff like that. Fresskowy's World's debut started on a positive note with a solid performance during the playing stage. However, his form seemed to decline as the tournament progressed against PLG Talon. MDK eventually secured a series win and advanced to the Swiss stage. Fresskowy's play was unconvincing. His difficulties became even more apparent when he faced Knight, one of the world's best mid laners, in his match against Billy Gaming. To make matters worse, Fresskowy was once again outmatched by Maple in a rematch with PSG Talent. While MDK's collective performance faltered in their final 2 games against GAM Esports, Fresskowy's mechanical errors stood out in particular. The team was therefore the first to be eliminated from the Swiss stage, posting a dismal record of 0 wins and 3 losses. This harsh debut on the global stage marked a difficult chapter in Frescao's career, despite his earlier success in the ERLs, where he won both Superliga splits in 2023 and reached the final of the Summer EMEA Masters. So, obviously, like Alejandro said a little bit in the article there, Frescaui started out pretty decent. Obviously, rookie. Sometimes you got to shake off some nerves. You got to shake off some rust. You got to grow into your own. He finished according to our Sheep Esports rankings, as the number 5 mid laner in the LEC during that winter split. But obviously, things did not get better from there. In the LEC spring, we had him ranked as the 9th best mid laner overall, and then in the LEC summer, the 8th best mid laner overall. And again, Mad Lions as a team started to do worse as well. Obviously, League of Legends is a team game. It's a snowball-y game. When your team's not doing good, your stats can go down. You can definitely look worse. So it's sometimes it can be hard to tell. Hey, was Mad Lions doing worse overall, and that was making Frescaui perform worse and his stats worse, or was Frescaui doing bad, and that's what made Mad Lions do worse? Probably both, but that is always something to keep in mind as well, that sometimes it can be hard to have stats on teams that are not necessarily winning a ton of games or whatever. But whatever it may be, Frescaui was definitely not a huge standout in the LEC spring or summer by any means. And now, at least potentially, they're going to be going in a new direction for the mid lane. Like I said, this is still very, very early for the Mad Lions offseason. Obviously, they were at Worlds. They were focused. They were locked in on that. So we are not super far advanced in the Mad Lions discussions for who their mid laner is going to be at this point. So Alejandro did not have anything else to report on that front. But obviously, there is going to be names swirling around. There's going to be names being thrown around. You can already see here on the top comment of this post, somebody said, "Hey, Mad Lions, I'm just saying at Abbedagge." We have heard from some other reports from Sheep Esports that Abbedagge has been considered for at least one other mid lane position in the LEC. So that was instantly a name that came to my mind as well. Again, this is just speculation. This is not part of the report or anything like that. This is definitely separate. Just talking about some potential ideas for Mad Lions and who we could maybe see here, who the fans are going to want to see. I definitely think that Abbedagge could be a very, very interesting option here. We also have obviously Nisqy somewhere out there. I know his name is going to be thrown around a little bit. I don't know if he would potentially return to Mad Lions Core, if Mad Lions Core would ever want him back. But I know obviously he is at least a person that is out there. We can go and look at the LFLs real quick and see, obviously the LFL kind of being that top ERL league, to see who the top mid laners over there were. Obviously I know that Reeker was one of the best throughout their time, and now Reeker is obviously set to be moving to the LEC. Abbedagge was ranked second as far as the other top mid laners in the LFLs as potential guys as well. We have Decay, we have Jekolad, we have Dehor, however you say it. So a couple guys that we've seen in the LEC a little bit before. Some interesting names there. Obviously, it doesn't seem like Reeker's going to be available, but that is definitely maybe going to be an option. Who knows? Some of the other mid lane options, like I said, Nisqy being replaced. VTO is another guy who's going to be somewhere out there on the market. I'm not really sure where Mad Lions Koi is going to want to go with this. It's also going to be interesting to see who they get to replace their assistant coach potentially as well. Again, this does not mean necessarily that Frescaui is going to be replaced. It just means, hey, we are considering replacing you. We are strongly looking at replacing you. But hey, if they're not able to find a reasonable option that they see fit, it's very possible that Frescaui could still end up being their mid laner for next year. Who knows? But obviously they're giving Frescaui a chance to line up a new position for next year, most likely in ERL somewhere, obviously, because he is still a very, very talented player, still has a bright future ahead of him, could still definitely bounce back from this. We see plenty of people, maybe not have success the first time and still eventually make it back, or just round it off into very, very successful ERL career. So I do definitely wish the best for Frescaui in that regard. But yeah, some big news here. Another kind of domino dropping. Seems that we could have another opening in an LEC roster, the mid lane position for Mad Lions. This is obviously interesting to note because Mad Lions, they did have all of their players, I believe, signed until 2026. Merwin, Elyoyo, Frescaui, Supa, and Alvaro all signed until 2026. But still, of course, with 2 years left on his contract, seems like Mad Lions could already potentially be going a different direction. So definitely some big news out of the LEC today. Thank you for Alejandro for getting this news out. I know he is working super, super hard right now, as well as all the Sheep Esports team. So definitely show us some love. I would appreciate, you guys drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and go buy some Holy, like I said, great tasting energy drinks that are also healthier than the competition. I have my own, so why don't you go pick up yours today? I got some of the Holy Energy. I got Holy Iced Tea. I got Holy Hydration. I got a little bit of everything. So I'm definitely going to be drinking it in the next coming months to give myself some energy to get through this crazy off season. But that is pretty much this video today, guys. Hopefully I catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.